Welcome to the RuPaul's Drag Race recap show for Season 8, Episode 6, titled Wizards of Drag. My name is Joe Batance, and I am joined by two arguably talented co-hosts from the podcast Dubious Intent. Please welcome the one, the only, I guess he's my friend, Daniel J. Brewer.
Don't know why you're surprised, Joe Batance. Turn it out every week. That was
yeah. Wow, that's like because I watch each episode 3 times, I know what you're referring to. But I
think Bob is trying to make that a thing. He keeps saying that every week, so I think he's trying to make that a thing. So yeah.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is. Well, they played it even in the first episode.
They do. All right, great. Go ahead.
Anyway,
we have a special. I'm saying we have a special guest tonight who's apparently literally at the surf.
Well, before we get to that, I know. Apparently, he also works at a sound effects factory.
Wow.
But before we get to that, let's talk about our pal.
Yes.
Our teammate.
Oh, Taylor. Yeah.
Taylor, the latte boy.
Taylor, the latte boy,
has fallen ill, and we miss him.
We do. You know, we get a lot of mean comments here, and one of them just hit him so hard.
Oh, really?
It sent him to the hospital. And
I see what you're saying. I was buying what you were saying, Daniel. I was like, what? We can't read that on the show. Not while he's ill.
No, Taylor had he'd just come away from, he was in New Orleans for a wedding, and he overdid it and knocked his blood sugar off, and so he's in the hospital. He, last I heard, was going to be released today, so we wish him a speedy recovery. It's one of the things, I guess you can't return your blood sugar back to normal level like immediately because it will cause problems, so it has to be done over a period of time. And so it sounds like he is out of the woods and he will be back eventually.
Perfect. Well, making his first appearance on our show, please welcome a very special guest co-host. You know him from Afterbuzz TV's RuPaul's Drag Race video podcast. Please give a warm Tennessee welcome to Jay Ellis.
Tennessee.
Hi, guys.
Tennessee welcome. Wait,
I know.
I don't know
what a Tennessee welcome is. Is that any different from a normal welcome?
I just made it up. I was writing the script and I said, what kind of welcome were you going to give him? We're going to give him a Tennessee welcome.
I'm both nervous and excited to find out what that could mean.
Luckily, you're white, so that's going. You got that going for you. The gay thing might be a problem.
Right. I'll work on that.
Yeah.
I was trying to think.
I'm extremely happy to be here. You guys were very nice to. I'm not in any way taking Taylor's spot. I was filling in last minute, and I'm happy that you guys thought of me to come and join you guys.
Actually, Jay, I would prefer it if you say that you asked to be on the show, because there are a couple of people who might be really offended if they know that we asked you.
No. Okay. I am happy to be here because I am a fan of your show, and I am happy that you guys allowed me to be on here with you.
Oh, well,
better?
That is great, Jay. I'm glad that you did that.
Now, do you watch this Afterbuzz TV show, Joe Batance, the RuPaul Drag Race?
I do watch the Afterbuzz TV show.
It's from left to right. It's Kenny and Jackie, and then Mark/Lorraine, and then Jay.
I'm always on the end there.
That's
the new guy.
The new guy at the end. But let me tell you, pound for pound, your side of the table does the heavy lifting. Let me tell you. You, and I know Mark gets a lot of flack from people because he gets overly excited and talks over people. But if you objectively listen to that show, you and Mark do most of the heavy lifting in that show. So kudos to you guys.
That's very nice of you to say. Mark is very passionate. He does drag himself, so I think he brings a certain kind of knowledge to the table that none of us can really talk about. So I understand where he's coming from, and he makes some really great points. And he's very passionate this season.
That's right. And he can also say the word Shantae, which Kenny can't.
Yes. Kenny stumbled a little bit. It was fun.
Daniel, do you actually watch the show?
I do. I watch this Afterbuzz RuPaul Drag Race show. I do.
Because I was going to tell you, if you did, then you would know that Kenny and I'm so gay. There's like a person who sits next to him. I don't know.
That's Jackie.
That's the girl, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's Jackie.
I don't see girls.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's some disease I was born with. Girls are invisible
Jackie.
to me.
She's a happy girl.
Jackie,
she's a fun girl, though.
She is very fun, and she always comes dressed in a certain theme. Lately, yesterday she did a very Wicked style. I don't want to spoil who she did, but a very Wicked style costume, I guess. And she always brings like a fun energy too.
Yeah. And then Joe, go ahead, finish Joe. What were you
I
going
was
to
going
say?
to say they're doing the literal. The joke's done. We've moved
great.
on.
Okay, great.
It was funny 2 minutes. Now it's done.
I say the one thing. Here's the one thing that does drive me crazy about your show is that you have a producer or somebody named Alexi or something like that. But every time that Kenny says her name, my Amazon Echo goes off because it thinks it heard Alexis. Because that's how you ask it questions, right?
Oh, I didn't know that it had a name. Alexis.
Hey, you're gonna let this go into deep nerddom.
Oh, shut
You
up.
don't do this.
Shut up.
Quick, backpedal.
Hey, Joe, what happened on this show?
This week, the library is open for this week's mini challenge, and the queens ease on down the road in a Wizard of Oz themed challenge. Bob the drag queen seems poised to take Acid Betty's place as the classroom bully, while Derek Barry does his best to make himself an easy target. Naomi Smalls walks away as the winner of the challenge, while Derek and Robbie were relegated to the bottom two. During the lip sync battle, Derek channeled Brittany, while Robbie took his wig off. Both gave it their all, but in the end, Robbie turned her, sashayed away. Ladies, any initial thoughts on the episode? Well, Jay's here for the first time, Daniel. Let's let him go first.
I was going to suggest that.
Oh, thank you. And I was going to take it anyway, so I'll take it. So initially, this season has been so far amazing. I've had a really good time watching all of these queens, and I had a really hard time watching Acid Betty go. And I was kind of wondering what they were going to do with these, like, who were they going to make kind of the head villain? And it's exactly what you just said. Derek Barry is trying to come in as that target. And with when we're opening up in the workroom, we see the challenge, we see the queens, and they're getting ready. We find out later what the challenge is and stuff. But my initial thoughts, I just was excited to see kind of who they were going to make and what they were going to do with the new queens there.
Yeah.
Without Acid Betty bringing a creativity, and I'm bummed. Ugh. I'm so sad. I can't talk about Acid Betty that much. It makes me a little depressed.
Oh, were you a big Acid Betty fan?
I really was. I felt like she was bringing something to the show that we haven't seen before. One of my favorite looks that I've seen is that Creature from the Black Lagoon, where I said if I saw that somewhere else, like if I went to a bar or something, it's different from a drag queen doing like a wig and a jumpsuit. She had like a concept and idea, and I liked the body paint. I just thought it was a creative way to come about challenges that we haven't seen too often. And so I took her leaving as a bummer. She was in my top 3. She was my original pick for my top 3.
She would have destroyed this challenge. I mean,
Agreed.
She would have destroyed. I can't believe they let her go.
Yeah.
I would have wanted to see what she would have done with this challenge.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And it's getting harder and harder every week to see these queens go, because I feel like this cast is one of my favorites. I haven't been this excited, I think, since season 6 or maybe even 5. So it's hard for me to watch them go.
Yeah.
Daniel, what were your thoughts?
Overall, I like this show. Now, I watched this show at Metropolitan in Brooklyn with Thorgy Thor hosting at her little viewing party there, which was absolutely amazing. We'll talk about that later. But no, I really did like this episode. I think what was the question? No,
what were your thoughts on the episode? It's a really hard question.
I know. But I had something I was going to say, and then I completely forgot what it was. No, I really did. I liked the episode from start to finish. I liked the reading challenge. I thought that was pretty good. I liked the general theme of it. What was pointed out in the show, but it wasn't pointed out very well in the show, is that this was based off of the book with The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, which is out of copyright.
Yeah.
So they were not allowed to use, this is what Thorgy told us, they were not allowed to use any reference for the movie because that is copyrighted. So I know that there were some people that were kind of like, well, there's no ruby slippers on Dorothy. But in the book, they're not ruby slippers, they're silver slippers. So, there's a little piece of trivia there for you. But no, I thought it was a really good episode. I was, surprised at how many people love Naomi Smalls. Every time she showed up on screen,
people love her.
The bar, and there's probably a good 100 people in that bar. They just went insane every time she came up on the screen. People, the same reaction to Chi-Chi. Everyone, like there was a commercial break that went out that, I think Thorgy's line was, people like Chi-Chi pissed me off. She got booed by the crowd for that.
Oh man.
Right? It's just like, cause people love their Chi-Chi. They love Naomi Smalls.
That's the most love Chi-Chi has gotten in a gay bar.
I don't know. Sure, we'll go with that.
That's a Spanish slang for boobs, Daniel.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah,
it all makes sense.
I'm not that guy.
You're bringing your Wizard of Oz knowledge. Mm-hmm. I remember feeling L. Frank Baum's name. Oh, that would have been a good one. A good dumb pun.
Yeah, the L. Frank Baum.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
It's too late now, Joe.
Yeah, back in the workroom after the elimination, Naomi Smalls defends her look against the other queens.
I'm so scared now. Like, I have to wear, like, a fucking turtleneck that's to the floor.
Was everything else you brought here a bra and a panty?
Two-piece and a biscuit? I mean, I work hard for my body, and I love my body.
I don't think the judges are telling you to be ashamed of your body. I think they just want to see one time where you show them something different.
Where you wear clothing.
The other queens think that what I do doesn't take a lot of effort, and that's totally not true. I put tons of work into my drag aesthetic, so it's frustrating.
Meanwhile, Bob the drag queen poses a threat to the other contestants, and his attitude does nothing to help that.
I'm the first one to win 2. I won 2. How much I get 3? Has anyone ever won 3 before?
Bob, shut up.
I'm really proud of myself, and I feel like the other girls are really gunning for me now. They're like, oh, you think you all that, bitch? But I don't mean to come across that way. I'm just having fun. I'm just like living my dream, making people laugh, which is me being me. Georgia, you're a shithead.
Have you ever played Jenga? That's Bob. Like, slowly, he's being built up, but sooner or later, the foundation is going to crumble, and he's going to take a big fall.
Woo!
So dramatic.
Look, this RuPaul knows how to do drama, Daniel. Now, Daniel, what? I want to hear your thoughts about Naomi Smalls, and I want to hear your thoughts about her with the look thing and about Bob the drag queen. Let's go with Naomi Smalls first.
Naomi Smalls. So you want to know about her look? What, her runway look?
Well, yeah, because she's saying, like, I know fashion, and I know this, and I know that.
You know, I think she turned it out, right? She did. She came out, and if you were going to do Scarecrow Couture, that is Scarecrow Couture. That is very...
No, but I'm talking about her general look, where the queens were reading her
I see what you're saying.
that she only had one look.
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe she's claiming that is her drag aesthetic, right? Showing her legs and everything. But yeah, you're on a TV show, so you need to show more than one look, right? It just as frustrating as it is to see Derek Barry do Britney all the time, it is just as frustrating to see Naomi Smalls only turn out that one look every time. So,
don't you think Bianca Del Rio also always had the same look though too?
Well, no, I think she has a look that she goes to, like an iconic look that she goes to, but she, in those challenges, put on different outfits, right? She didn't always show up in that same dress for every single challenge. I'm trying to think back. Season 7 is such a blur to me. It's like,
Bianca season 6?
I know, but it's like, it's 2 seasons ago.
Don't ever get that wrong again.
No, it's 2 seasons ago. I'm trying to, and my point was I'm trying to think back 2 seasons as to what the challenges were, and I'm conflating them with the season 7 stuff. But no, I think
what
Bianca wore different. Didn't she like dress up like didn't they have a challenge with her and a door? I remember there was a chain link fence involved, and they were wearing wrap clothes.
Oh, yeah.
Bianca, did that, right? She didn't come out in her Bianca dress for that.
Now, Jay, you don't live too far from where Naomi's from.
Right. Yeah. She's a Inland Empire girl where Raven and Morgan McMichaels are from. So it's a pretty close-knit community out there from what I can gather. I've been to a few of the bars out there. I've never seen her perform. I think I've been out in LA for a while now. But they have a lot of loyalties to the bars out there. I think like VIP and Menagerie and stuff. I imagine it'd be kind of cute for her to go back and do a little set there because I bet that people from the hometown would love to see her.
Also, there's Club 340 in Pomona. They got a lot of those RuPaul's drag queens.
That's right. And, Tiffany Pollard, who's New York, she performs at 340. She's kind of a MC, like a guest host, I would say. And I'm wondering if so she's done a few things there. So I'm wondering if maybe Naomi Smalls had met New York and thought, so when she came out instead of the Whoopi thing, I failed to mention this when I was, talking to other people, but it kind of clicked, like maybe she's done a few gigs over at 340 and she's seen Tiffany. She knows how to act like her and she would take in that embodiment. But as we saw, that did not work in her favor.
Now, let me ask you a question. This is very localized here, but why do you think that is the Inland Empire? Because I mean, Azusa's not technically the Inland Empire, but it's adjacent, so Adore's from there. Yeah. Why is that area sort of producing so many drag queens?
The real question, I have no idea. Maybe there's something in the water over there. I don't know why I'm not in my full drag, but there's clubs over there. I think that's the difference, is that there's a gay culture in Inland Empire, and Azusa's maybe a little bit closer to Los Angeles, so maybe Adore would be a little bit more comfortable going to like West Hollywood or even downtown now. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, see, I know nothing about the geography of what you're speaking of there. However,
Daniel,
let's
I need
just
to do
move
some research on that.
Yeah, let's just move on to Bob the Drag Queen. I said last week that I felt like let's just give him some kind of award and get him off the show because he's dominating everything, and I love him, but I would like to see some of these other girls do some stuff. So I think they kind of dialed back Bob this episode, which I found pleasantly.
Oh, really? I thought it was a very Bob-heavy episode.
Really? I feel like
Yes.
I feel like I didn't hear Bob talk as much in my ear this week. You know what I'm saying? I don't recall him just going on and on and on like he did in the dancing challenges and stuff like that. He had a few moments, but I think mostly this episode was narrated by Robbie Turner and Thorgy Thor more than the rest. I could be wrong on that, but I feel like I heard them more than I heard Bob this episode.
Yeah. The thing is with Bob is like, 'cause, going back to Bianca Del Rio on season 6, it was very clear very early on that she was just dominating so many things, never in the bottom, that she was going to be in the top 3. You knew early on, but she handled it with a lot of grace. Where I feel Bob, come on, we know this. We've known early on that Bob's going to make it to the top 3, but I feel again, I often say,
Joe, have you ever played Jenga?
I often say that it could be a slave to the edit, but some of the stuff is kind of crazy that he says. There's a sense of entitlement that I'm not liking.
You ever played Scrabble? Bob is like a triple word score on a double word cross, and he plays the X, which is, naturally for 8 points, and then, you triple it and then double it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's Bob the Drag Queen. Pretty soon, though, someone is going to spell ecclesiastics.
I have had this comparison with Bob and with Bianca where, they're maybe not giving the freshest or the newest looks on runway, but they're just a big personality. And I think that people watching the show enjoy, that's what I like out of a drag queen, is somebody who's kind of loud and crazy and a comedy queen. And so I respond to that a lot. With this one though, like where the attitude, she's saying, "Oh, has anybody ever won 3 before?" Like it's just a little bit, It's a little obnoxious. Like we get it. You're doing your great job in this competition, but I know she's having fun and this is her dream, is to be on this show. So I enjoy Bob, but I agree this episode, I didn't see or feel like I got as much of Bob. And I didn't mind that. I was happy to not have her in my face so much.
Yeah. I feel like this is a more balanced episode where I get to hear some queens that I don't often hear.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, because now we're getting down to fewer of them. Back in the workroom the next day, RuPaul enters to announce this week's mini challenge.
Because in the great tradition of Paris is burning, the library is about to be opened, darling. Because reading is what? Fundamental. That's right.
Yes, it's time for the Library is Open, the annual challenge in which the queens take turns reading each other to filth.
First up, Chi-Chi Devane. Come on down, honey. Chi-Chi. Yeah.
All right, Thor G. Thor. Girl, I love you so much. I don't know whether to give you a hug or put some change in a cup. Bob the Drag Queen. You may be from New York, honey, but those feet are still from Mississippi.
CT, your drag is just like turkey neck. Cheap and no one wants it. Wow. Naomi Smalls, your wardrobe reminds me of a legendary Drag Race queen, Nicole Paige Brooks.
Yay! Who knew that was lurking underneath that?
We all knew.
Simple. I mean, Derek. I mean, Brittany. You are pretty attractive. I hit that baby one more time. Bob. Please shut up.
Naomi, no one knows whether to call you Naomi or Naomi, but judging from your runway looks, no one's going to be calling you at all. Bob the Drag Queen, I had no idea that there are different shades of ashy.
Kimchi, you are stomping for the gods on the runway. I just wish your drag would get raptured. Naomi, I'm gonna give you some advice, darling. No one's gonna take you seriously if you were born after Windows 95 came out.
Robbie Turner, we know you're a vintage queen, but do you have to smell like mothballs too?
Oh, fuck off.
Derek Barry, you say it takes you an hour to do your face. Why does it look like 5 minutes?
Beauty.
It is a known fact that Derek Barry is not very smart. When she heard Britney Spears, she said, "Does she? I prefer fencing." It is very hard hard to have an intelligent conversation with Derek Barry. The only thing harder is Robbie Turner's wig lines. Robbie Turner. I know you're a huge fan of classic movies and television. May I recommend one of my favorite classic TV shows? Flipper.
Oh my.
Wow, you pulled the entire damn clip there.
I know, the longest clip we've ever played on this show, but I couldn't really break it down. It was really, really hard.
Oh, come on. You could have left out all the shitty ones. You could have left out Kim Chi. You could have left out...
Then I would have there would have been no clip.
Oh, you weren't a fan of this read this time?
No, awful. And then I went to the Logo TV. I thought maybe there's some good ones that are buried, and I could have pulled some. You know what it is a lot of the good ones that were buried were all about teeth. They made fun of the other queen's teeth.
There was a lot of teeth. Yeah, there was a lot of teeth jokes.
Yeah, what I found out in the viewing. Well, I'll talk about it when we talk about the viewing party and the Thursday show. I'll talk to you about what Thorgy told us about that. So go ahead.
Yeah. So, what were you guys' thoughts on the read? I guess you guys liked it better than I did. I wasn't a fan of this Libraries Open Challenge.
Jay,
this year.
You can go first.
Yeah. Thank you. So what I was thinking is that normally there's at least one or two that kind of flop. And they play that sad music to let us know that they didn't deliver a good read. And this time, I didn't think that there was any super weak ones, but there was none of them had me like busting up laughing where I was like, oh, we totally are in on that joke. I think it is a safe call for them to do something that judges have called the contestants on. So about like Robbie Turner's hairline, like Bob was smart to do that with Rue in the Room because it kind of shows that they're paying attention to the critique. But overall, I thought it was a solid read. It wasn't my absolute favorite. There's other ones that I'll probably go back and watch before I would watch this one.
Yeah, I thought a lot of the reads were really weak. They just didn't play the weak music, right? They tried to pass it off as like being really good, right? It's like I thought Kim Chi's was like horrible. It's just like, really, girl? That's what do you do other than look pretty? What do you do? Show me what you do, because I'm losing it here. But I thought Derek's was horrible and.
Now, I know Nicole Page Brooks from Atlanta, Georgia is a big deal on Reddit, but I don't understand that whole weird jokey thing that they're doing there. And then I don't get the Nicole Page Brooks joke.
I tried to look
do
it up.
bikini?
I don't know. It was like a legendary fashion queen, Nicole Page Brooks. I don't remember her on her season. She was on the season with Raven, right? She was, is that not right?
Let's see. I have, she was season 2.
So it's like, I don't remember season 2. That was like 100 years ago and in drag time. Yeah. So.
On a related note, do you watch this 11/22/63, Daniel?
I do not, Joe Batance. That's over on the Hulu. Yeah.
I see billboards everywhere, but I've never seen an episode.
Oh, the show is so good, but there was something on there that made no sense, and the internet has not been able to help me on that either. Right. Well, the only thing I find is people go like, "Oh, I'm glad other people don't know what this reference means." That's the only thing.
Wow, you should listen to the AfterBuzz TV 11/23 blah 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 recap show.
There you go. They might be able to help you out.
I'm sure they have one. They have one for like everything. They actually have a recap show for this recap show.
I didn't want to tell you this. I'm the host of the AfterBuzz TV 11/22/63 recap show.
Wow.
And you're just trying to get answers from all of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like that Facebook thing. You just want us to do your work again. It's pretty much what it comes down to. Exactly.
That's exactly what it is.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, let's move on. Bob the Drag Queen was named the winner, and RuPaul immediately launched the week's Maxi Challenge.
I'm lost. Where are you at?
Right after clip 4.
Oh, gotcha.
Ladies, since you love reading so much, I want to share with you my favorite book of all time, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. This week's Maxi Challenge is your chance to strut your stuff down the yellow brick road. But you won't be doing it alone. Please welcome some Drag Race superfans. The cast of Lifetime TV's Little Women LA. For this makeover challenge, you need to create original drag couture for you and your partner, inspired by one of the characters in The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. # Wizards of Drag.
Now, Daniel, I know that you are the keeper of the names of the looks with the drag queens. Do you want to do that now, or do you want to do that when we get to runway looks?
It probably makes more sense to cover it in runway looks, just because we can just do all of it there instead of like breaking that up.
Sure.
So
In the workroom with their team partners, the queens get to work on their consultations. Naomi vows to prove her fashion worth. Bob the drag queen is worried that everyone wants to see him fail. Chi-Chi wonders if he is good enough, while Robbie struggles with his team's costume theme.
So, the Cowardly Lion, we're gonna make, a cute little dress or maybe a leotard or, I don't know. I'm thinking.
Yeah, big challenge.
I do have a big challenge, yeah.
Oh, Robbie. I agree with Christy. I think he's going to have a challenge because based on his poodle challenge a couple episodes ago, Robbie is not the best at construction, and especially with somebody much smaller.
So what did you think of that, Jay? What did you think of Robbie's struggle with his theme and this? And also, what are your thoughts on Robbie in general? I don't think we've gotten that from you at all.
Yeah, so with this challenge, and I'll talk more about Robbie in a second, but with this challenge, I think that his struggle was to not copy what Kim Chi had done in episode 1, which she had basically come out in like a cat or lion, like it could be interpreted as an animal with that hair. So it's really hard to step away and not do that same. Yeah. So, I mean, we saw the wig on the shoulder. We saw the rouging on the butt. I don't know. I wasn't crazy about this look. I think they should have incorporated the gems that they had gotten in that bag a little bit more because they looked great when they caught the light. And as far as Robbie, this whole competition, I found myself kind of rooting for her. When I watched the Bitch Perfect thing again, I loved what Robbie did. I thought she was the standout next to Chi-Chi, of course, with the scatting. And I didn't want her to go. I loved her. Oh shoot, I'm forgetting the name of it now. The A League of Their Own look from the Madonna. She stood out for me last runway. So I thought that she's been doing a pretty solid job, even when she had her lip sync where she was on skates against the cuckoo herself, Cynthia Lee Fontaine. I wanted to give Taylor at least one cuckoo in the episode. Now he has 2.
Taylor's, I'm sure, very stoked.
Yeah, so I've been pretty keen on Robbie Turner, and it's like I said, I'm bummed to see anybody go. But on this challenge, if you compare her up against everybody else that was on the stage, she had one of the weaker looks, and I don't think that she could recoup, especially after trying to make that cape, and we saw that it just came out to trash, basically. Yeah. So yeah, I was bummed to see her go.
Go ahead, Joe.
No, I was going to ask you what you thought.
Yeah, no, Robbie Turner was like one of my early, picks of she's either going to be great or she's going to be bad. I wanted to like her so much more than I did. And if you watch What You Packin', that's just posted over on Logo's YouTube channel, she and Michelle are basically talking about how much in her head she got. And she just got so much in her head that she couldn't let go and perform to the level that she really should have. And I think that's the real problem here, is that she's really good. She can be really good. If you watch some of her YouTube stuff, she is really good, but she wasn't showing us that on the show. She wasn't turning that out on the show, and that's the ultimate problem.
Also, the fucking excuses.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
So sick of that. On Reddit, they were making fun of her because she posted this thing on Reddit, which actually what I love about this thread was it alerted me to a subreddit called That Happened.
Yeah.
Where it's when someone tells a story or writes a story that you're like, okay, that didn't really happen, and you can tell in the story. Mm-hmm. So Robbie tells a story about some woman who sat next to her and defended him on an airplane, and she told off some big homophobic.
She posted this on her Twitter account. I've read this story. Yes.
Yeah. So people were making fun of it on Reddit, and then they put in they added the tagline, and everyone stood up and applauded at the end.
Joe Batanz. Wait, let me ask you this, Joe Batanz. Have you ever played Scattergories?
Yeah, I feel like you're going with the wrong games. Look, here's the deal. I'm politely ignoring these game jokes, but I think you have to go with, Bob is like Clue. Now, by the way, I'm making this up as I go.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We're seeing a process happen.
Yeah, you're seeing the process happen right before the magic of happening. Bob is like Clue. He started out in the apothecary, but pretty soon he's going to have a noose around his neck with Colonel Mustard in the ballroom. I don't know. I'm going to work on these.
Yeah. Clearly.
I think it was a strong start.
Oh, no, please. That's
Bob
being
is like
generous.
Monopoly. Bob is like Monopoly. And if he rolls doubles 3 times in a row, he's going to go directly to jail.
Bob is more like hungry, hungry hippos, Joe. It's like once you run out of white marbles, the only thing left are the blacks.
Ooh. Well, I gotta be black.
Yeah, Daniel, what that got really dark really fast.
It was marbles.
Literally.
Dear God, it was marbles.
I was going to throw one into the ring, but now I'm a little scared. I don't think I can.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Jay. Go ahead.
James from the Inland Empire. He gets a pass.
Okay. Bob is like Operation.
Oh.
Oh, yeah?
Full of pieces, but once he takes something out, he buzzes?
No.
Oh, it was
No. The way with Dan... Okay, Bob is like Operation. He always has a bone inside of him, and he buzzes when you try and take it out.
Hey-oh.
There it is.
There it is. That was a good one. All right. I'll go with the assist on that. I like that one.
All right, fine.
Yeah. In the workroom with their team partners, the queens get to work on their consultations. Naomi didn't I already do this one?
No.
Yeah, we did. We put the Robbie. Okay, yeah, I did do this one.
Yeah.
This shows how much you guys listen.
We're on cable visits, right?
Yeah, guys, I don't read this.
No. I'm sorry.
Head.
Both paragraphs. No. Both paragraphs start with the phrase "in the workroom." So I thought you were reading the right one. So.
In the workroom, RuPaul. I think the audience is well aware that I think they think I'm saying this off the cuff. I hate to spoil the surprise, everybody.
I don't think anyone's surprised.
I'm reading this. In the workroom, RuPaul visits the teams to get a sense of their progress. Kimchi seems confident, Thorgy feels the time crunch, and Derek Barry fails to impress RuPaul with his plans.
So I was thinking of creating elements that can go on to a bodysuit or something like that.
That's great, but haven't you done that before? Wearing a bodysuit or a bathing suit and then putting something on top of it. We're looking for couture, something inspired by the Tin Woodman, so take it from there. All right, well, I'm going to let you get to it.
Now I have to rethink ideas. That really scares me. Oh, God.
Before leaving the workroom, RuPaul throws one more challenge to the girls.
All right, ladies, gather round. Gather round, ladies. Now, tomorrow, in addition to your runway presentation, I want each duo to perform a dreamy, interpretive dance set in a poppy field. Of course.
What did she say? In a poppy field?
Of course.
Of course. Oh, see, I listened to that like 4 times. I couldn't figure out what the fuck she was saying.
Oh, you think because she's black, Daniel?
No.
You are so racist today, Daniel.
Wow.
Because Taylor's not here, and no one knows this, but Taylor's black. And because Taylor is not here now, you are just going...
Taylor is not black. He's from Florida. He's just very tan.
You say tan, I say black.
Okay, great.
So now that Taylor's not here, Daniel is like all of a sudden George Wallace all of a sudden.
What the hell? Fine, whatever.
I have no opinions on this.
He's taking us to that dark place here. I don't.
Now, James from
I'm glad I'm on
Rancho
vacation this week because I
he-
won't read the nasty emails that come in from this one. So it's like I'll let you guys.
Jay's from Rancho Cucamonga. There are a lot of black people who live there, and
Yes.
so he probably has a lot of black friends. Daniel, he's very offended. I'm offended for Jay. I'll be honest with you.
I'm about to get my Chipotle and my Clueless and head out. I'm gonna calling it a night soon. With Chi Chi DeVane.
I know, going on a Chi Chi DeVane's night out with Clueless and Chipotle.
Chipotle.
What were we talking about? What was the
When
question?
Cynthia Lee Fontaine was talking about cuckoo, did you think of your hometown, Jay? Do you like Rancho Cucamonga?
Cucamonga?
I know it's
not until you just brought it up.
It's Cucamonga, but she should go there and be at the Cucamonga.
I'm going to talk to the person who's that, the mayor? I'm going to talk to the mayor and see if we can get that changed to the Cucamonga. I think it's a little bit more fitting.
I never brought this up, but I want to bring this up now. This Cynthia Lee Fontaine would brag about her cuckoo, right? But as we learned on episode 1 in Untucked, it's fake.
It's a fake cuckoo, yeah.
Yeah.
She paid a lot of money. She paid a lot of money for it. She's very proud of it. I believe the question, though, at hand here, Joe Batanz, is what do we think of the this mini challenge?
Well, let's start with Derek Barry first, though. What do you think about Derek Barry failing at the table visit? And again, he was doing the same thing, a bodysuit with something just tacked on. Daniel, I know you're a big fashion maven. What were your thoughts on that?
No, my thoughts on that was when he said, well, I guess I'm going to have to rethink my plan. And then he basically went out with a bodysuit with some shit put on it.
The same thing.
It's like, wait, what plans exactly did you rethink? It's like, it doesn't seem like, well, before I was going to do a white one, but I guess this time I'll do a yellow one. It's just,
that's why I kind of think there's something in the bag for Derek. There's sort of a promise that you'll make it to episode 5 if you come on the show.
Well, I mean, we're at episode 7.
I'm sorry. I meant top 5.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah, and for that was a confusing thing to me when Ru comes through the workroom and you're saying, "Oh, I need to rethink some things," and you basically just laid out exactly what you walked out on a runway. You did not rethink anything. Like that was my problem. Like I wonder, exactly what was your initial idea? Like, or what did you rethink that you sewed on some hems? Because we heard hems about 18 times and untucked.
Maybe she did rethink, but thinking is hard, and she just stopped. Maybe she started to rethink, and then she's like,
she rethought it, and then she was like, meh.
Yeah.
This is hard.
I thought about it.
Yeah.
It's too hard.
So anyway, it's weird because in a strange way, Derek Barry wears the drag of a drag queen. She's not a real drag queen. She wears the drag. Hear me out, Daniel. This is
I'm
a
here.
brilliant thought.
I'm waiting for this. I'm waiting.
She's wearing drag queen drag.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
She's
not a real drag queen.
She's not a real. She's pretending to be a drag queen.
queen.
Yeah, I got it. I got that, Joe Batanz.
Copyright Joe Batanz.
That's deep.
Instagram, Foursquare.
I don't think that's
all that.
Yeah, Foursquare. You're huge on Foursquare, Joe.
Friendster,
MySpace,
Friendster, and Pets.com. Okay.
Wow.
Remember Pets.com, Daniel?
I don't, Joe Batanz. Wait, was that the place that you could order? They went out of business because basically you can't ship kitty litter for free. It just costs too much to ship the shit.
Well, the other thing too, remember they totally ripped off Triumph, the insult comic dog.
Oh yeah, with the little sock puppet. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then they rethought it.
Okay, next, what did you think of this new spin on the challenge? Like when she added the new little take there on that.
The interpretive dance. I don't think we've seen an interpretive dance before.
It was sort of wasted.
Yeah, I would like to see all of their interpretive dances. I didn't like the montage that they showed us. I would have preferred to see what they did. Show me these dances that they did. But,
and we haven't talked about this. Don't you think it's kind of insulting that they had these little people come on and then they had them do the Wizard of Oz?
No. Go ahead, Jay.
We kind of addressed this on AfterBuzz because a few of the co-hosts felt the same way, and I said that we've seen this transformation challenge before where they take people who don't traditionally get dressed up in drag, and I think that these women had a built-in audience because they're on their own show.
Right.
And also, I think that they were trying to give them an extra challenge, and this is kind of a new thought that came to me with proportions because they're used to building, outfits for themselves and their proportions, so maybe they were just trying to weed out the people who weren't so strong in creating garments. And because I'm sure that proportion is a little bit harder to match. I don't know, but I don't know how to work with fabric. I've never sewn anything in my life, but I imagine that when you do that, it's harder to get somebody else's body type once you've only been working with your own.
But then don't you think that speaks to what I've said before, is there has to be some sort of assistance or guidance? Because, if they would have done this on Project Runway, it would be hard for those people, and that's what they do essentially for a living, and they struggle with that stuff on Project Runway, and that's never an issue on this show. They made a comment about it, but in terms of Chi-Chi, but...
Yeah, I don't think that they're... what do you mean guidance? You mean like they brought in people that we didn't see to help them?
Or patterns.
No. They're allowed to have patterns.
Yeah. But if Naisha was still around, she probably would have struggled on this one. We saw Chi-Chi doesn't know how to sew. It was all hot glue. So I don't know if they get assistance. I think they're kind of given what they're given.
No, not necessarily assistance like someone helps them, but maybe gives them advice.
Yeah, but I think you got to remember that on Project Runway, they're making a gown that is going to go in front of judges, and then the judges get up and inspect the gown and everything. On this show, they're making something that just has to look pretty walking down a runway. It's like it can be the most, beat up piece of crap in the world. It just needs to make it down that runway and back, right? It just needs to look good from a camera's point of view, from one angle or whatever. But I've already forgotten what the original question. Oh, I know what it was. Is it insulting to the? No, I don't think so, because it's not like they came in already with pre-assigned characters, right? So it was not a matter of, hey, we're doing Wizard of Oz and, you're going to create the Munchkins, right? It wasn't anything like that. It was more of, this is a Wizard of Oz challenge where you have to do that in like the other makeover challenge, you have to keep them in your drag family. So you have to kind of look similar to the person that you're making over. And it just so happens that this time it's this cast of this other reality show, right? So I don't think them being little people had any, I don't think it was insulting at all. I think it was fine. I think it could have been any other cast that came in there, right?
What about this interpretive dance?
Oh boy.
Was that insulting to little people? Yes, Joe, it was. It was very...
No. I just meant, what were your thoughts on just them adding this interpretive dance?
I thought it was kind of interesting, but I don't know what... I would like to see it as a real challenge, as opposed to just kind of like, it kind of, whatever we're trying to say, like a montage of seeing those kind of things. Does that make sense?
It was just RuPaul putting in another one of her songs. I don't think it had anything to do with anything for the challenge. They added some plastic flowers on the runway, and it was just Ru getting another single out or something. I don't know.
I will tell you this. In Thorgy Thor's party last night, in her viewing party last night, she strongly intimated that it was almost last minute that they said, "Oh, we wanted you to do this interpretive dance."
Well,
thing.
yeah, the producers probably realized they were short on time or something.
Because it was not. They were like, we're like standing around backstage and they're like, "Oh, now you got to go out and do this dance," and they're like, "Huh?"
Because I'm going to tell you something. This episode's a couple minutes shorter than other ones as well.
Yeah.
It's not exactly the same length. All right, back in the workroom, Kim Chi slaps his team partner. Naomi and his partner struggle with their choreography. Chi-Chi and his partner finish early and piss off the other contestants, while Robbie is forced to rethink his fashion design.
Why is this machine being a dick? Oh my god. Do you want to see something completely insane?
What the fuck? Why did you sew it like this? I don't even know how you did this.
No, I don't either. Isn't that bizarre?
Apparently this fabric cannot be sewn on. So we've gone from a beautiful regal cape to making bustles to give us sort of a regal flair. I want to scream.
My brain just exploded.
It's elimination day and the teams are getting ready for the runway. Bob the drag queen is forced to start from scratch and struggles to finish his outfit in time. This week's mirror confessional includes Naomi's team partner sharing her experience as a little person.
So do you kind of find it hard being a little person?
It was hard. I am made fun of all the time.
I get personally offended by the word midget. Because midget doesn't necessarily mean like a person. It just means something small. It's such a derogatory, ugly word. It like makes me cringe when I hear it.
Do you think it's because people are just afraid of what they don't know?
Yeah. You know what trips me out is if I'm literally at the mall walking and somebody's like, "Oh my gosh, look at that midget." I'm like, are you serious?
People have a long way to come.
Yeah.
I think that's why I feel so comfortable around gay people. Because they get how I feel because, they get treated the same way.
Right, exactly. You can't stop being the height that you are, Yeah. It's like who you are.
And you love who you love.
Right. At the end of the day, everybody just wants to be loved. Everybody just wants to fit in.
Exactly.
Jay, what were your thoughts on this Robbie Turner's struggle with the sewing and just in general Robbie Turner's struggling with sewing and the way he gives up?
Yeah, so, it's kind of going back to I would have loved to have seen maybe what that cape was going to do if the sewing had worked out on that fabric. I think we saw the crown on top of her head, and I don't know if they were going for like kind of more of a regal look or what the plan was, but
yeah, like King of the Jungle, right? The lion is King of the Jungle, right? So.
Okay. Oh, so, and see, I'm not familiar with the book version. And so yesterday I had a few people correct me saying that it was the book version of Wizard of Oz. So I'm not familiar with the character descriptions. So maybe there's some things that I'm missing and I haven't educated myself yet about, what the looks are. But, with Robbie, I think that if, there was like teased hair, there was just like some missteps, I think, as far as going about that. And I felt bad that the sewing didn't work out because I really would have loved to have seen what she could have brought to the table had her original outfit worked out.
Yeah.
Dan Brew?
Yeah, no, I agree. I totally agree. Everything he just said, I second it.
Ditto.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of wanted to see what happened. He's just so whiny, though. He gets so old.
Now, not to upset Jay, but I'm sure had Acid Betty been there, he would run over with a picture going, "Look, I used to be a little person."
Yeah. Sure. Acid Betty has lived a life, and I don't think she was shy to say talk about her experiences. But this is what kills me is I would have loved to have seen what Acid Betty had gotten for her character because I think she would have killed this challenge. Right. So it's just hard for me to see such materials go to waste, I guess.
Here's the thing, though. Back to the sad story. So the putting on makeup, listening to the sad story is just that's how they edit these shows. So I know that Lorraine is toying around. One of your co-hosts, Lorraine Love, is toying around with like trying out for the next season. I know Donna Sugars is talking about applying for the next season and everything. Anyone out there that's listening is going to apply for season 9. Just weeks ahead of time, go into Photoshop your childhood pictures into every configuration that you can imagine, because that way you'll be in every sad story. You could just run over and go, "Look, I used to be a small black child too. Like, look, I used to be fat. And look, I used to be a little person." It's like,
yeah, they really are bringing they're bringing a lot of points in. I've been trying to make mirror moments a thing on Afterbuzz. I don't know if it's catching on at all, but these mirror confessional is I like that they're giving us a little bit of insight to these characters or not characters, I guess, people. And they're drawing a lot of parallels of how it is growing up as a gay person to other struggles that people have in life, because I think that they're trying to relate that it's not a choice. It's a struggle growing up. So I thought it was kind of smart to have these little women of LA talk about their story, how it's in your genetic DNA, something you can't change. Yeah. And it's just sometimes it's hard to go through life with that extra, what's the word I'm looking for? With that extra
baggage or like that.
Yeah, baggage. Yeah. That's all I needed. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Baggage.
I'm still back on he wants to make mirror moments a thing, so I'm just kind of like...
Wait, Daniel, did you get that note I sent you?
You know, you and me share a brain here, Joe, because I'm desperately searching for sad music right now, and I'm like, oh, fuck, what do I play? It's sad music.
Jay should ask me if I have a boyfriend.
Just out of the blue?
Well, that's what they do on the show.
Oh, yeah,
All of a sudden, like Thorge, you'll be like, hey, Bob, have you ever played craps in a Vegas casino? And you're like, what?
Yeah, okay.
And now it's time for Mirror Moments.
Hey, Joe, I had a question.
Yeah. Sure, go ahead,
Jay. You know, I was looking up some of the queens, and I was wondering, do you have a boyfriend?
I do, actually. It's funny that you say that. You guys probably noticed I haven't really been myself today. We got in a big fight this morning. We talked it out, but I'm just still emotionally drained, you know? And I have to wonder, is it worth it to still be in the relationship? I don't know. Maybe it's because I was abused as a child.
I used to be abused as a child.
Acid Betty's here.
And scene.
That was very dramatic. I loved it.
Yeah. Mirror moments.
We should make this a weekly thing. We'll go on that website you sent me and find the music they use.
Oh, for the thing.
Yeah. We'll find the actual music.
Yeah, great. Yeah. There you go. It's always fun to talk about production, Joe.
Now, Daniel, it's time for the runway looks.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
I guess I should cue this up then, because we have our little thing there that we have. All right, so let's take a look at our runway looks document, shall we?
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta do that. You would think I would have done that while, well, we had no time because we were talking, and there was no break in between, so I wouldn't have had a chance to do that.
A break was not taken. No. So let's start off with the Purple Princess, RuPaul. What did we think of RuPaul's purple look here this evening? Joe Batance.
I'm not gonna lie, on RuPaul's looks this season, I'm always like, didn't we see this already? Every look this season, I'm like, didn't we see this already? I mean, it looks great. She fades right into her background. I'm gonna give it a toot.
Okay, great. Jay?
Yeah. I can see what you mean about we've seen this before, but I think she knows that the thicker strap kind of hides her shoulders, and I love this color on her, and I thought the wig is fantastic. The makeup's clean. I'm going to go with toot.
Excellent. I'll give it a toot because she's RuPaul, right? And she's not a contestant, and it doesn't really matter what she wears. All right. Our very first people out on the runway here are Miss Chi-Chi and TT Devane.
You see, referencing
that's
the
true.
boobie again.
Wait, hold on. I'm supposed to also explain. They are playing Dorothy. So this would be TT and Chi-Chi had Dorothy was the character that they chose. So what do we think of this, Jay?
I wasn't crazy about it. I think the color works for their skin tone. I don't like the necklace. And I agree with Michelle's critique that she should have contoured some boobs because she did have major man bod in this one for Chi-Chi. I'm going to boot it.
Okay. I'm also going to boot it. It's just especially because when she was leaving the runway, it was like linebacker in a dress was all I could think of. It's just like, it was not very feminine at all. Joe Batance, what do you say?
I'm going to tell you something. I don't like this outfit. I'm about to tell you something else. I saw this Jay yesterday. He tells me, he goes, I don't know the looks either. Everyone knows the looks. He has said way more than anyone on this show ever knows about looks at all. I don't even know what contouring the boobs means.
But using makeup to make it look like you have cleavage.
It's just shadowing, basically, like how they contour their nose. It's just a makeup technique to kind of give an illusion of something being there.
All right, I'm gonna give it a boot.
Okay,
right, great. Our next look is Bob the drag queen and Rob the faux queen as the Good Witch, Glinda the Good Witch.
Yeah, this is a boot for me. I didn't care for it. I know that it was a short time that Bob had to execute it, but it didn't do anything for me. I didn't get the challenge from it. Boot.
Joe Batance.
I agree with Jay. I don't like it. It looks like she just got it at this TJ Maxx. And contouring boobs. And she likes a thick strap that hides her shoulders. I'm going to give it a boot.
You ever played Sorry? Anyway, you know what? I'm going to give it a 2 because I actually think it's a well-constructed little outfit that she put together for both her and her little person. So I'm going to give it a 2. Let's move on to Naomi Smalls and Jazzy Jims. They had the part of the Scarecrow. What say you, Jay?
This is definitely the clear winner for me. I love the burlap as the collar and like the bodice piece, and the fabric all works. I'm happy that Naomi didn't come out in like a mini skirt, so it's a little bit more conservative. And I love the leggings on Jazzy Gems, so that's a definite toot and a winning look for me.
There you go, Joe Batance.
I'm going to tell you something. My favorite joke of the day was on Reddit where they suggested she should have been called Naomi Smaller.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
But I like both looks. I'm going to give it a toot.
There you go. Well, she clearly won the challenge, so it would be silly for me not to toot it. On next...
Daniel, you don't be a slave to the challenge. What do you really think?
No, I liked it. I actually did. I really like this outfit. I mean...
Even though she's black and we know you're racist.
Well, let's move on here to Derek Barry and Tara Barry. They had the part of the Tin Man. So what say you, Joe Batance?
You know, apart from the things on her shoulders, I actually don't hate it. But
which Michelle Visage referenced as horse penises. Yes.
Yeah, well, she's stupid. I'm going to say a boot, though, because there really was nothing to it, and we've seen this look 1,000 times. And actually, you can see the flaws on it on Tara.
Yeah.
The flaws are a lot more evident, and the horse penises do bother me. So I'm going to give it a boot.
All right, Jay.
Yeah, she should take that little glitter hatchet and kind of hack up this. I'm not into it at all. It's just, we've seen this before. It's a lacy skirt overlaying a bodysuit. Boot.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about an actual woman simulating fellatio on the stage of RuPaul's Drag Race, so I get a bit of boot. All right, let's move on to Robbie Turner and Hedda Turner, who had the Cowardly Lion. What say you, Jay Ellis?
Yeah, so we say the execution, it's not there for me. It's just a bunch of fabric overlaying each other. We heard on Untucked that it's just safety pins. Darian Lake looks great, though. She's getting a lot of work, which is nice. I mean, you can't tell me that Hedda Turner doesn't look just like Darian Lake.
I'm so confused by why they chose Hedda Turner. It's just like, wait, Hedda Lettuce? Is that a Hedda Lettuce reference?
I didn't know what that was. So
Head Turner.
Head Turner.
Oh, got it. Joe Batance with it. All right, but this is a boot for me. I'm not into it.
Joe Batance.
Wait, Jay, what did you say earlier?
I said Darian
Lake looks great.
No. About Robbie's outfit. What did you say?
Oh, that we heard on Untucked that it was held together by safety pins.
And before that,
it's just a bunch of fabric all thrown together.
Oh yeah. Daniel, this is just a bunch of fabric all thrown together, all held by safety pins. And who knew that Joey Boohacker is getting work? That's an obscure reference. That joke's only for Daniel.
That is for like 3 people in the audience. Sorry, so you give it a boot. I say, all right, yeah, I'm also going to
give it a boot.
I'm going to give it a boot. Next up, Thorgy Thor and Thorgus, which they had the part of the Citizen of Emerald City. What say you, Jay Ellis?
All right, so this is actually one of my favorites. I thought that the green really worked, and if you line up, like she had that little capette and then the panels on Thorgy, when they were standing next to each other, you could see they lined up perfectly. So I thought that it was one of the stronger looks, and I think it looks like exactly what it was, a Citizen of Oz. So I love the glasses, and I give it a 2.
What do you say, Joe Batance?
Daniel, I'm going to tell you something. I was a big fan of this look.
Mm-hmm.
I like the emerald green and the panels. And do you notice how, like, when this chick stands, the panels match up? I was a big fan of that. I thought that was really cool. And I like it. I'm going to give it a toot.
Wow.
And I like the glasses, too. Hey, Daniel, do you have any kind of inside information about the glasses?
I do, actually. So if you read the book, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, it is one of those things that it was not included in the movie, but for Dorothy and all of them to actually go into the Emerald City, they had to put on special green-colored glasses because it was so bright in the Emerald City. And actually, Thorgy Thor made those goggles for the citizens of Emerald City there. So she was very faithful to the book, but she actually crafted those goggles herself for them both. So I thought that was a nice touch.
Yeah, that makes it even better for me. So, I like it.
Next, by the way, I give it a 2. Finally, we have Kim Chi and Miso Chi, who were playing the Wicked Witch of the West. What say you, Joe Batance?
You know what? I'm going to let Jay go first.
Have you guys ever played Candyland? So for me, this was another one where I didn't know the reference, but I like Morgan McMichaels has like a little bodice showing right there.
It's very Morgan McMichaels, isn't it?
It looks like Morgan McMichael. They brought back 2 queens this week, and Layla McQueen on the right is looking great.
No, 3. Do you not see? Do you not see the Thorgy Thor and oh fuck, I'm losing it. Who was her name? Ginger Minge. Oh God.
Oh yeah, you're right with the hair. Yeah,
the glamour toad there. Yeah.
Yeah. Overall, I thought this was a really fun one. It was a cool colors and cool concept. I like kimchi, so I'm gonna give it a 2.
Excellent. What do you say, Joe Batance?
What?
Yeah. Oh, you're great. You give it a 2.
They look like they busted out of gay prison.
Yes.
Wow. All right. Yeah, I just I give it a 2. It was a cute little.
I gave it a 2 too.
Yeah, it was all right. There you go. Those are the looks that we had on the runway, and that was our runway recap look.
All right.
There you go.
On the main stage, Derek Barry failed to impress the judges.
Next up, Derek and Tara Barry.
It just looks so homemade in the worst way.
I'm not a seamstress, but I did sew everything on here.
It's a piece of fabric. We're like pretty far into the competition now. You have to give us more. That is not a Britney reference.
I have watched you in Vegas. I know what you're capable of, and it just sort of saddens me because you're better than what you just did up there.
Derek Barry.
I'm banging my head against the wall with Derek because you're just giving me a bathing suit with something wrapped around your waist. Again. And putting 2 horse penises on your shoulders. Doesn't change it.
I cannot.
She's amazing as Britney. And we still haven't gotten past this. Episode 6.
I know that Britney's frustrated.
She seemed lost to me. You said Britney.
Did you say Britney?
I sure did.
You said Britney.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
But that's the point.
Next up, Robbie Turner also received low marks from the judges.
Next up, Robbie and Heather Turner.
I literally don't even know what to make out of what you're wearing. Bustles can be flattering when they're on a big gown. This looks like just a bunch of ruched up fabric stuck. And we have to work on that hairline.
I guess I'm a little more old school. I come from, big old Christian hair women.
Even Jan Crouch found a way to blend. Robbie, we're at this point now. It's like so frustrating because you are so talented. And all we want is for you to bring it. And we're missing it.
Robbie Turner.
Yes, we've seen way better looks before. Even this hair thing done better by Kimchi in episode 1. But I just can't make myself hate it. I would be so angry to see Robbie go home.
But how many times is it going to be excused? She is holding herself back. You saw it in the acting challenge, and you're seeing it again.
Daniel, what are your thoughts on the judges' critiques?
No, I think it's spot on. I think those were clearly the bottom 2, and I was glad to see them both in the bottom 2. So,
do you think it's awkward for this Michelle Visage? She just reads them to filth in front of them and behind their backs, and then the next day is like, "Oh, you were so amazing. We were rooting for you, and show me the dumb dresses you didn't bring."
I don't think she reads them to filth. I think she wants them to succeed, and she's basically pointing out definite flaws.
Someone's in love with Michelle Visage.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. We'll talk about it in a second. But yeah, Robbie's wig, she was right to point it out. So that's all I'm saying.
Jay, what are your thoughts?
This panel of judging was my most. I think I agreed with everything that they said except for Thorgy Thor's critique. I thought that they were spot on with everything that I was thinking. It's pretty much what we said for Robbie and for Derek, that neither of them impressed me, and I think they both deserved the bottom.
There you
Don't
go.
we all deserve a bottom?
In a perfect world, Joe.
I think he said they deserved 2 bottom. Yes. Go ahead.
After those looks,
Go ahead, Joe Chance. Give us read your line.
Before the girls retired to the Interior Illusions Lounge, it hasn't been called that in 3 seasons.
It hasn't, no.
RuPaul had one more question.
Ladies, one final question. Who deserves to click their heels and go back to Kansas? Starting with Chi-Chi DeVane.
I'm sorry, Derek, but your outfit to me was just a train wreck.
Bob the Drag Queen.
Based off this challenge, I would pick Derek as well.
Naomi.
Based on execution, I would probably say Derek's too.
Derek.
Well, I would say all 3 that said me, but I know I have to pick one. I would say Chi-Chi's. It's hot glued together. It's cut fabric with no detail.
What say you, Robbie Turner?
Chi-Chi's didn't scream Dorothy to me.
Kimchi.
I love her, but I'm going to say Chi-Chi only because yesterday everyone was just working hard. She was just sitting there, and those are the times that she could have spent on her outfit. Sorry.
Thorgy Thor, you're up.
Kimchi, you literally said every word that I was going to say. I think in this competition, you have to apply every single second, and I'm here to win. So people like Chi-Chi piss me off.
Daniel, did you agree with the statements, the sentiments expressed there on the main stage? Who would you have sent home packing?
I would have chosen Derek Barry, as someone who is just not turning it out. I'm surprised no one said Robbie Turner. But yeah, I mean, they're going to go after Chi-Chi because they always go after Chi-Chi. But yeah, I think she has proven again and again that she can, she can do well in the challenges. Like she can do well on the runway. So.
Jay Ellis, what are your thoughts on this? Your thoughts?
My thorgies about this? Yeah, so my thorgy thoughts is, Derek got 3 people to say that she was the weakest one on the stage. And I think that the queens were fair. They were talking about just based off that challenge alone. I don't really think that personal feelings were in it. And Chi-Chi got 4 votes. And you're right. I don't know why they always go for Chi-Chi. It seems like she's friendly with everybody, but I think the reason why they didn't bring up Robbie is because Robbie has some friends there, and maybe Chi-Chi doesn't, so maybe nobody wanted to go for Robbie in the sake of saving her. I don't know.
Could be, or maybe I know that Robbie does help a lot of them, very, tried to help them in acting challenges, and maybe they just feel like, I can't throw her under the bus because she's helped me before.
Yeah, so I think there's a conspiracy against Chi-Chi.
Well, it's definitely a popularity contest.
Yeah.
He was very. Did you not notice though? It was that the 3 black people said Derek Barry.
Oh, here we go again.
And the other ones all said Chi-Chi. It's like it was very OJ trial, right? It's just kind of like.
Good thing that Fred Goldman wasn't there to make
if Fred
some
Goldman
money off
had
of
been there,
them.
he would have been screaming about how his son wasn't included on the runway. But go ahead.
Daniel, can I ask, how did you feel about Todrick Hall being one of the guest judges on this one?
Oh, I know.
I love Todrick Hall. I love Todrick Hall. I was shocked, Jay, on your show that you didn't know who Todrick Hall was.
Okay, and you know what I did? Yeah, so you know what I did today was get stuck behind all of somebody sent me some videos, and I've been watching Todrick Hall all day. He's genius. It's amazing.
Did you watch the Basic Bitch, the Belle is a Basic Bitch video, the spoof of the Belle from, what am I trying to say?
Disney?
Yes.
From Disney?
From Beauty and the Beast. That is the great. Look it up on YouTube. Yes, it's
okay.
I'll find it here.
I'm writing a memo right now, but that sounds right up my alley. Mm-hmm. Perfect.
Go ahead.
Back on the main stage, Naomi Smalls was named the winner of the challenge, while Robbie and Derek were relegated to the bottom. The girls went head-to-head in lip sync, and afterwards, Rue rendered her final decision.
Ladies, I've made my decision. Derek Barry, Shantae, you stay.
I'm sorry. This is the most emotional roller coaster I've ever been on. I'm so outside of my comfort zone here. And it just crumbled down on me today because I put myself in a Britney box. And I'm doing my best to get out of that. So thank you for allowing me to continue to make it happen.
Thank you.
May I leave the stage now?
No! Stay there!
Yes.
Stay there and cry for us, bitch!
Thank you all.
Robbie Turner, I'm reminded of a quote from The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. Now I know I've got a heart because it's breaking. Now, sashay away.
Thank you guys so much. Love you. Love you. Mwah. Good morning.
What'd you say?
Good morning.
What'd you say, Joe?
Look at how cunty she was. She was like, thank you guys so much. Like, oh.
I think that's just her voice, Joe. Anyway. Go ahead.
Robbie left confused and had some Robbie, let's do this again. Wow. Robbie left confused, had some parting words.
Guess right now I think still a little stunned. I'll probably get back to Seattle and be like, woe is me, and eat some peaches, and that'll be okay. Oh, fuck.
Ladies, any final thoughts on the episode?
I mean,
Jay?
Yeah, I mean, I eat peaches to solve all my problems. And as one who has also seen the Britney box, it is hard to get out of your head. I don't know. I'm joking, but Derek was. I don't think that was a bad joke. I'm so sorry. I know.
Have you heard our jokes today?
You ever played Jack in the Box? Because
it's another box that I'm trying to get out. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm hoping that maybe we do see a different side of Derek now that it's been brought to his attention that he can't keep doing the same drag. But I just don't think that's the reality. And I was bummed to see Robbie Turner go. I'm gonna kind of miss her. I know you said she complains, but I didn't mind it.
There you go. I
have no voice.
What?
I have no voice.
Yeah.
I have no voice.
No, the punk took my voice. The punk
took my voice.
It took my voice. I can't really.
So my jokes were shitty.
I would have preferred to see Derek go home, but I'm fine with Robbie going home. It's like once there were the bottom two, I was like, yeah, okay, I'm fine with either one of these going home. So,
yeah.
I think it is.
Now, Daniel.
Yes, Joe Batanz.
I noticed, I pulled the clips from this show. Yes. And I pulled audio clips, and I noticed there was a lot of Michelle Visage laughter in this episode.
There was.
So, if you will, I pulled them. Could you play the clip called Special?
I will. Here we go, Joe Batanz.
Shoot, whatever. Oh man, I want that as a ringtone.
For those people who might have sent us emails saying that we do that too much, there she is doing it. So don't bust our balls.
She does it too much.
Yeah.
I'll say, as a fan of the show, of your guys' show, I look forward to it every week. So I hope that you continue to keep doing it.
Yeah. Jay, that was a good one. Can you do another one for us? Yeah, that's pretty good. You know what? That's
you have to
good.
hold it. You have to hold on to it. I think that's the trick.
You do.
I think that she's doing a Phyllis Diller. It sounds a lot like a Phyllis Diller laugh.
Okay.
I'm so gay. All right. Well, that concludes this. Well, Jay, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you again so much, you guys, for having me on. I'm a fan, and I'm happy that I got to be a part of it. So I'm looking forward to Taylor coming back and you guys getting your damn groove back when she's there, and you guys will be.
Wouldn't it be great if... I'm sorry, go ahead, Jay.
Oh, no, I'm just excited to hear what you guys think about the rest of the season. Yeah. And anytime you need a guest, please...
Call you.
Call me.
Daniel, wouldn't it be great if we start getting emails that Jay was super negative?
That's right.
Oh my gosh. It's my biggest fear. I know. I'm so afraid that I was going to come on and people weren't going to like me, and I'm crying about it over here.
No, you'll be fine.
You guys really should have gotten Lorraine Love on, because she's so much more positive than Jay. It's just like...
Daniel, why are you throwing shade at Lorraine Love?
I am not. I love Lorraine Love. I just said, did you not hear me at the beginning of the show saying that they do the heavy lifting on the Afterbuzz show? That's what I'm trying to say. I
want to reiterate again. I love the panel that I'm on, and it's fun that I'm happy that we can have us. Last night Kenny talked about you guys, so they're listening. Yeah, they're listening to you guys too. So I think that we have a good promotion going on. It's a good energy with our show. So I'm really hoping that.
Here's the thing: Jackie is throwing it open to pick the final look that she wears on the last show.
That's right.
I don't want to play any favorite games or whatever, but all of you need to tweet. It's like she needs to dress up like Jay. It's like that should be her final look. To do the drag king thing where she dresses like you and like.
Oh, I would love to see that. That would be she's having, and let me tell you, she really brings it. Like she does a good job. Like she doesn't just half-ass it. She always kind of comes in with a good wig and a good concept. So she's basically Acid Betty when it comes to the concept. So I would love to see her as me. That's such a nice thing. Thank you. I think that should happen.
You're just totally playing the Jay's LA actor narcissism.
No, I'm not. I was looking at her when she was asking that question. I was like, they have kind of the same facial structure there. It's like, because she was dressed, well, I don't want to spoil what she was dressed at, but you'll see in the video, it's like I could see where she could do it, and it would look like like a drag king version of Jay. It would be great.
Jay, where do you live?
He lives clearly on a road somewhere, because it's like
I'm in an alley. I'm currently in an alley, just hoping that somebody will give me some money. I'm off of a main street. I'm really sorry. I'm right next to Venice Boulevard, so I get that all night, and I'm really sorry if it's destroying the audio. So
well,
sorry.
no, Daniel's, I don't know if this was on the air or not. Daniel was yelling at me about his fancy machines and the fancy things they can do before we went on the air.
Yeah.
So Daniel's fancy machines will take care of it.
There you go. My fancy machines are not going to take care of it. I have to be on a plane in the morning for my vacation. Hey, I just want to say real quick before you close out the show, Joe, we will not be doing a Tuesday show next week. I'm on vacation. Joe's out of town, so we will not be doing a show next Tuesday night. We will be doing our extra lap this week, but next week we will do one show near the end of the week. It'll probably come out on Friday or Friday night late. So we will just combine the extra lap and the regular show next Friday. So next week, do not expect us on Tuesday.
Can't wait.
That's what I wanted to say.
And will you be talking about your brush with Thorgy on Thursday's show?
Yes, on the extra lap show. Why did you want to come back for that? Do you want to be here on the Thursdays?
I just am excited to hear it. I want to hear everything that she has to say. Yeah.
I'll tell you.
Uh-huh.
All right, Joe, go ahead, Joe.
I have a strange suspicion that Jay's going to be available for it. Well, that concludes this week's episode of RuPaul's Drag Race Recap. Follow us on Twitter at Drag Race Recap. Friend us on Facebook at facebook.com/Drag Race Recap. And make sure to visit our website at dragracerecap.com, where you can find all of our contact information, leave us a comment, and find all of our old episodes. So, until next week, for Daniel Brewer, Jay Ellis, and myself,
sashay away until next week.
Oh, you don't think Jay gets to do it?
I've never done it. Oh, no. No, go ahead, Jay. You do it, Jay.
Is it just sashay away until next week?
Yeah, do it again.
Okay. Sashay away until next week.
Kenny couldn't have said that. Kenny couldn't have said that because Kenny can't pronounce the word
Daniel.
sachet.
You go ahead and do it, Daniel. I don't want to overtake it, so please.
No, we're keeping yours.
All right.